Long ago, when I had another channel, as I have about 7 channels on my videos, long ago I made a channel for Pokemon Go um, exercise. It was a channel where I would catch Pokemon and stuff like that, but I would majorly do it for the exercise purposes. From that channel, I actually lost about 42 pounds in 2 months. They're just pretty much walking and catching Pokemon. Now, the video that you see right now was pretty much me actually entering to um, another city from my hometown, which was about 30 miles. The video you're about to see next is pretty much me walking back home from also another city. Now, while the city of my hometown to the city that I used in Pokemon Go was about 30 miles away, and it takes about 8 hours to walk, this one is pretty much from about 5 hours, I would say. I think that's what I looked in the map. 5 hours to get back home, which is 3 hours less from the other city. And I'm pretty much walk home. Now, I won't be able to actually show everything. And that's the reason that is that when it was raining on and off. So I came back home literally soaking wet completely. Even some of my resume and other stuff that I had on me were completely wet as well. Second, uh, I was running out of battery at one point, about 5 miles away from my house. I was literally at 5%, and I pretty much about 2 miles away from my house. I was at 1% and it died. So I actually looked at it one more time before coming home because I was taking these route I never have taken before. I was also able to find some cool things like where Macy is at in a specific city, which they're hiring and stuff like that. So I might look into that another time. So let's actually jump into the video. I'm gonna actually apologize a bit between the camera and everything like that because this is gonna be a phone camera. It's in my safe lane traffic zone. I don't have a phone for myself or anything like that, so I apologize by the video recording of this right here. I actually went in strong on my interview, and I didn't came out as strong or anything like that. There's things in the past that has haunted me, and that is the long period of work between works. Like when I was 18, 17 to 18, I worked at roofing. Then I looked at Lowe's, and then I worked at a place called it's a laser tag place. I don't want to say the name because you can technically find where I am. So there's a long period, like a 6 or 5 years period of not working and stuff like that. It's really hard to get a job where I live. Technically, even two of the major stores actually shut down and left. And at the same time, during those time, I was doing YouTube, which is not technically a job. If you're not getting paid or anything like that, you're just working for it. Is considered entrepreneur, by the way. But again, since I didn't pay, I didn't put it on my resume, and that actually looks bad. Not having a huge wage, a huge gap of your year to get to the next place or anything like that. Anyway, let's head into the video and into it. What you saw over there is pretty much from the factory. From the factory to the city is, and you can see it's kind of like raining and stuff like that, which I come back home very, very soaking wet. From the factory to the city is about 1 hour and 25 minutes and so on. So that's about how long it took to actually get there. You might have seen some houses which that I recorded, which is something that I liked to live in, but there are some houses that will also be recorded later on that I pretty much want to live in the future or something like that. So I just also want to show the YMCA there because they're like time 20 better than our YMCA. Their YMCA is just time like the best. I'm not sure how this city has gone. I did live here about 12 years ago. I'm not sure how it progressed or if it got worse or anything like that. But I definitely did enjoy living in this area. I didn't have much of a problem and so on. So every about mile or so, I will actually record a small segment of it because if I record everything, not only will it be a long video, but I will lose the battery and I will not be able to get home because I'll be lost at the road I've taken. However, there were a lot of up and down hills in here, majority up hills, which kind of like pissed me off because I was like, Jesus. It looked in the map, it's like a straight going back home, but it's not. It's not really what it shows. Um, to get back home, there was literally a lot of hills and stuff like that. Not until later did I found out that there were a lot of wood area. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful houses in here, but there are a lot of wood areas, which made me think is like if a bear comes out and I am on my limit, I'm gonna get chewed on. This is actually a little small park right there. I'm gonna record that because it's a little small. But yeah, at one point my foot, my body was telling me, you're in an extreme amount of pain. Please stop. Please take a rest. And I didn't. I just kept going. I was just like, I can't stop. If I stop, it takes long to get home and stuff like that. And if I take breaks, I'm gonna take a multiple breaks and so on. So I pushed it beyond the limit. When I came home, I was almost feel like I was limping. And when I got into the shower, I was in pain, even to the point when I actually stopped and I was in my bed. I was in extreme amount of pain. It almost felt like I never stopped walking. Always in extreme amount of pain. So after a while, I was gonna head back with my best friend and his wife to go walking, but it was too much raining, so we decided to just go ahead and play some games and stuff like that, and that was actually much more fun. Than I would have been. I'm sure I would have been more miserable if I walked. I wasn't gonna push it anyway, but I sure I would have been miserable. See, these hills, they're like so goddamn long to get up there and so on. And that was just freaking stupid for me. I was like, Jesus, when is this going to stop? And there are areas like these are technically, I like houses that are first very secluded. Houses that just, you know, has no noise or anything like that, very peaceful. And then I also love community houses like that where they're very, very separate from the other person. So I'm sure if I were to put some music, it'll take a long time before I hear it in the other house, or maybe not at all. I also wanted to record this because I didn't know there were places around here. There's a lot of places around here that grow their own food and then sells it as, like, you know, a market food, like, you know, fresh market food. There it is. You can actually see it's raining completely, and we're getting close to the end of the video and stuff like that. But basically, after miles of walking and being soaked and wet and so on, I actually saw two of the places, two Macy's that were actually technically hiring. It's very long still from where I live, about 5 miles around at this point. And then I found one later on, which I think is close to 3 miles where I live. Which I might even hit that up. I saw these people throw all these things here, all these like television, and their house is like completely wood, and it looks good too. I've had it appeal to it when I was walking. I looked back and I was like, Jesus, man. When I look into the map, it felt like I'm not even moving an inch, even though it looks like I am. Like, you know, I move and the little camera step in the GPS goes, a little small niche, a little small niche. I was like, Jesus, how long? Anyway, I was getting to some points where I saw some houses that I actually did like, not the right side, the left side, very, very, very secluded and so on. And I actually, even this house, I actually loved this house as well. And I was like, always telling myself, it's like, so many good houses here, and what do these people do for a living to actually own this? Are they happy with their setup, or are they having trouble paying the mortgage and so on? Something that I always ask myself as I walk in, because actually, you know, it kind of slows down the how I say it, it makes it faster. It makes it faster for me to walk, because I'm not thinking about how long distance I have to get. So here's the last Macy, which is the last video over here. I saw this Macy, which is about 3 miles where I live. Still pretty far and so on, but it's actually more bearable than walking 5 hours or anything like that back to the factory and so on. Even though my boy would technically take me there if there was like a vacation or something like that. I would have to like use a bike to actually get there, which is about 2 hours, and it's more bearable than this and everything like that. So I just wanted to put this out there because, you know, it's something that I want to keep in mind, that I did this. I went from one city to another city, 8 miles, 30 miles, 8 hours to another city, and then I did this, which was right here, which is about 5 hours to get to this city. And basically is, I don't know the miles or anything like that. I didn't check the miles, but it's technically 5 hours, which is 3 hours than the other city that I walked before. So it's something I said to myself, if I ever need to escape or something like that, I know my foot can take me there. It's just gonna hurt. Today is actually the next day of that, and I just checked my foot. The bottom of my foot hurts. It feels sore, but it's walkable. And where my thighs, my hip, my lower back, everything that should be extremely in pain, I'm not. It's almost, I feel like I'm Goku. I jumped into a hot bathtub for like about literally close to an hour or something like that. It's supposed to be cold water, but I went into a hot bathtub. It felt really good, and then the next day I feel like I completely healed and so on. So today I'm actually gonna go to Walmart. Gonna buy some food and stuff like that. Then I'm going to put a 90 pound again. But the new training is basically I did it before with my friend, my best friend and his wife, where we walked just a little 10 minutes, and I had 90 pounds of weights on my back, and basically that's what I'm doing again. I'm 90 pounds with my back. It takes about 2 miles from here to another store that I actually buy is Aldi, and during that time I actually put everything on my shoulder. I actually have bruises from that, but I put everything on my shoulder and going up a long steep hill to get right back home. And so, but I feel that I'm actually getting stronger with this and faster, and again getting more ready for if I have to walk to a specific area for a job or something like that. I'm ready for it again. I just want to put it out there. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one, which should still be about Battle Forge.